So over the past few weeks leading up to the first debate on November the 9th, we've been taking the chance to speak with those vying for the top job in the Conservative Party. Today is Saskatchewan MP Andrew Scheer. Thanks for being here on Your Morning.
Thanks for having me on the show.
All right, you're based in Regina. You're one of the youngest, if not the youngest candidate that's vying for leadership.
I am, yes.
Tell us your age.
37.
Right, and you have a large young family, 5 kids?
5 young children, yes. Yeah.
All right, their ages are?
11, 9, 7, 5, and 1 year old.
All right, well, medal for your wife. She wins like leadership for the family
right.
role there. All right, there are now 12 candidates in this race, an even dozen. How are you going to set yourself apart from the rest?
Well, right away when I launched my campaign, I had the support of 20 members of caucus. I have 17 MPs and 3 senators, so I think that should show a little bit of momentum that I've managed to put together early on in the campaign. And I think I know I'm going to have a unique approach to communicating Conservative values and principles.
What is that unique approach?
Well, when you think about how the previous government was received over the past few years, our policies were very popular. The fact that we balanced the budget, the tax-free savings account, that went over very well with voters, but we failed to reach a broader audience. And so what I'm going to do throughout the leadership campaign and after the leadership election is find that way to connect those Conservative principles to voters, speaking to what motivates Conservatives, not just being about dollars and cents, but about improving the quality of lives for Canadians. There's nothing more that lifts people out of poverty than Conservative principles. Prosperity lifts everyone up out of poverty. So creating jobs, improving the economy, growing the private sector, but speaking to Canadians in a way that shows that our motivations are to improve their quality of life, not just tracking the dollars and cents.
All right, so you've talked about your economic platform and your focus there, and that's fairly clear. But there seems to be some debate about what defines Conservative principles. So Brad Truss says he's 100% Conservative. You say that you are a real Conservative. What does that mean in the social side for you?
Well, we need every kind of Conservative excited to be part of the party and working towards winning in 2019. So what that means, we're a big tent party. We have a lot of different people from different sides of the spectrum, but fundamentally what keeps us all together are, of course, our solid economic principles and showing every kind of Conservative that there's a home in the party, that they can at least have their say. So we need to make sure that we're focusing on the things that can bring us together as a party, the things that we can agree on. Conservatives agree on so much.
Okay, but you're not agreeing on the social policies. I think everybody can agree economically, but socially there is a big divide, and we keep hearing big tent. But you know what happens in big tents? Circuses. And it feels a little bit like that when you watch this campaign.
Well, I mean, it's a healthy part of the democratic process to have those debates. And when the members decide on our policy, as they did in Vancouver and a few years prior, we have policy conventions every couple of years. We find out what we can agree on, and let's focus on those things. If you put up 2 whiteboards, one all the things Conservatives disagree, one all the other one all the ones we do agree on, which one do you think we should focus on going into the next election? So what my goal is, say, look, there are a lot of things that we can disagree about. Let's have our say, let's have that out at conventions, but when we figure that out, let's stay united on those things that bring us together and that we can win on in 2019.
It's the figuring out that I want to ask you about. Earlier in our conversation, you said that, economically, I think everybody can sort of agree what the principles are in the Conservative Party. But in this last election, we saw a real moving away from, or voters moving away from, sort of the social stance. So what is your social stance, and in particular on things like same-sex marriage and abortion and some of those issues that people would see within the Conservative Party as being maybe outdated?
Well, look, there's still millions of Canadians that have difference of opinion on those issues that you just mentioned. I have always voted for pro-life legislation, and but the key for this as leader, our policy plank in our policy document says that the Conservative government will not introduce legislation on that issue. So I take our policy platform very seriously, and so under my leadership, that won't happen as a government bill. But there still has to be the attitude of openness to at least have the conversation. And when you look at the other parties, they don't even allow members who have differing views to run for their party. We don't think that's right in our party. We welcome the debate, we welcome the conversation, and we need to make sure that every kind of Conservative feels like they're reflected in the party. But going forward into the 2019 election, I want to make sure that we're focused on those issues that unite our party, unite our caucus, and that we can reach a broader audience of Canadians on.
All right, we're going to hear more from you and the rest of the candidates coming up on November the 9th at that very large debate that is taking place.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks for being here today.